Welcome to Kesckemét in Hungary, hosting the third round of the UIPM 2018 Pentathlon World Cup. Hungary, a country with a strong background in pentathlon, looking to celebrate that popularity with success from the homegrown athletes. But needless to say, they'll be facing the stiffest competition in the world. Pentathlon, a multi-skilled challenge which sees athletes put to the test over 5 disciplines in one day. A 200-metre swim, the round-robin épée fencing with extra points available from the bonus round, the riding, where they all face the challenge of an unfamiliar horse, and finally the combined event, the laser run, an exciting and tough test of all-round Olympic ability. We join the event with the women at the pool, ready for their first discipline of the individual finals. World champions and Olympic medalists all here to fight for those crucial points at this, the penultimate World Cup event. We caught up with Germany's Annika Schler, who'd enjoyed a successful qualifying day here in Hungary.
Actually, it was the first really good competition for me this season because LA went really hard for me, and then we had some international competitions that really went hard for me. So I was lucky to have a good competition, to have a good day yesterday, and I'm looking forward for tomorrow. And I will see how I can improve. Always fencing is the key. So I think in pentathlon it's really familiar. You know everyone, and you just shake hands, waving. I think the level in Hungary is always really high. All the ones, they're really strong. The laser run, if they have a good day in fencing, like Laura, Pokopenko, of course Gubadolina, she's really strong this season. So I think there are a few girls, they could make the podium.
So time for the all-important women's finals at the pool as we pick up with the action and hand over to commentator James Zanidakis.
And a warm welcome for local favourite Sarolta Kovac as the fastest swimmers make their way out ahead of the final heat of the women's finals. 36 competitors making it past the qualification rounds, and we join the action with 100 metres to go in Heat 5. And currently leading the way in lane 4 with the grey swimming hat and the black swimming costume is the world number 1 and reigning world champion Golnaz Gubadolina, and she is ahead just fractionally of Chloe Esposito from Australia, who is right next to her in lane 5 as we reach the turn end for the final 50 metres. And look at that, Golnaz Gubadolina has pulled away here in this women's final heat, the final 50 metres. Gubadolina, who is basically untouchable in the swimming. She has a reputation for being a quick swimmer and certainly proving that well here. But you can see in lane 3 to the right of Golnaz Gubadolina, that there then is Sarolta Kovac, the Hungarian. She's getting close as well, but it is Golnaz Gubadolina who is well out in front at the moment, and she wins the 5th and final heat. In second place, it is Chloe Esposito of Australia, and in third, local favourite Sarolta Kovac, completing the top 3 of the fastest women.
I found it hard to swim today. The water and the pool are great, but I don't feel very good.
This then confirmation of the swimming results, and you can see Golnaz Gubadolina with a time of just under 2 minutes and 9 seconds means she leads the way heading into the fencing ranking round, where the majority of fencing points are earned. Just one hit is needed to win during the 60-second bout. Each of the 36 athletes has to compete against one another for 35 bouts in total, with points for every single victory. Tamara Alexiev, not the strongest of swimmers, certainly made up for it in the fencing. 23 wins and 13 defeats. Ieva Serapiniate from Lithuania, 21 wins and 14 defeats for her. Esposito and Gubadolina, though, weren't able to capitalise on a good swimming score. However, someone who did put together a good run in the ranking round was Anastasia Spas from Ukraine. She won 22 of her bouts with just 13 defeats. And here you can see her up against Ieva Serapiniate in the bonus round. And you can see there Spas once again with the victory. Here we can see then a replay of that good defensive work then from Spas. However, she was knocked out in the next round by Kim Sunwoo from Korea, who made it a final showdown between herself and Volha Selkina from Belarus, who comes into this bout with perhaps maybe a little bit more patience because she has the priority, of course, going the way of the athlete who places higher up the rankings. You can see here Sunwoo Kim just slowly edging towards Silkina, who is being defensive, but it is Sunwoo Kim who gets that tap and indeed wins the overall fencing bonus round. As a result then of that victory, here you can see then making contact with her opponent. So an extra 2 points gained there for Kim Sunwoo for the final bonus round victory. You can see the athletes enjoying themselves on the sidelines there. This then the standings after 2 events. Kim Sunwoo then leading the way with 533 points as we head outside for the riding, where the athletes are awarded 300 points to start with. It's all about preserving those 300 points. 7 points deducted if they knock over an obstacle. Time penalties also subtracted from the overall score. And here we can see Sarah Pignato from Lithuania, a very good run. Just 2 time penalties taken off, a score of 298, well and truly putting her in contention. Also looking good in the overall standings was Anastasia Spas from Ukraine. She put together a good run in the riding, no obstacles knocked over, a reasonably quick time too, an overall score of 295 for her, putting her well and truly in contention. Well, second in the overall standings is Volha Sukina from Belarus, and riders generally consider a score of 290 above a pretty good ride, and that is exactly what Volha Sukina scored here. Just 1 obstacle knocked over, 7 points knocked off for that, 3 penalty points, keeping the pressure then on Kim Sunwoo of Korea, who is currently the leader, needing a good ride though to keep herself at the top of the leaderboard, and that's exactly what she did. A confident run from her, just 4 time penalty points, an overall score of 296. All smiles for the Korean as she leads the way at the moment after 3 events, 829 points, putting her in a good position heading into the laser run, a 14-second head start over Volha Sukina from Belarus. So points then transferring into seconds as the athletes prepare themselves for the final event of the day, the combined laser run. And it is, of course, Sunwoo Kim of Korea who will get us underway. World number 1, Golnaz Gubadelina, with work to do. She's starting back in 13th place. Kim Sunwoo then of Korea gets us underway, a very healthy 14-second head start as she makes her way to the first laser shoot, and this is where pressure really starts to pay. And we can see there Volha Silkina of Belarus making her way towards the lasers, and that then shows you the difference between our 2 leading athletes at the moment. Kim Sunwoo with a pretty confident start to the race. Spas from Ukraine making her way from the laser shooting quickly. We can see Kovac there as well, off to a good start. And there's Chloe Esposito from Australia, just trying to make up a bit of time. She started in 7th place. This then is our battle for 2nd at the moment, and you can see there Anastasia Spas just putting on a bit of pressure to those front 2, but out ahead it is Kim Sunwoo of Korea, and look at that gap, in total control of the race at the moment. Eva Pignato from Lithuania then still in 2nd place as we rejoin Kim Sunwoo. Very confident stuff this on the laser run from her. She is in total command at the moment. That battle though for 2nd and 3rd really hotting up. You can see 5 athletes at the laser run, and it is Chloe Esposito that gets away first. She is really making up some lost ground, starting in 7th now, all the way up into 3rd place. But it is Kim Sunwoo of Korea currently out ahead. But there in 2nd place is Chloe Esposito from Australia, and what a charge she is on in 2nd place, and you can see the gap there. It looks about the same as what it was on the previous lap, but maybe just a fraction shorter. Can Chloe Esposito from Australia put pressure on Kim Sunwoo? At the moment, it's a lot to ask. There then behind is that battle for 3rd place. 3 athletes looking to get that final podium spot, but Kim Sunwoo still confidently going, and she gets out of the blocks well. This then is Golnaz Gubadelina making her way through the field, starting in 13th place, making her way up. But it's Chloe Esposito holding her nerve and again keeping that pressure on the runaway leader, Kim Sunwoo. This then in the red is Anastasia Prokopenko from Belarus, who has overtaken Kovac, the Hungarian, in 3rd place. So Prokopenko is up from 11th up to 3rd. Still Sunwoo Kim leading the way. In 2nd place it is Chloe Esposito from Australia, and in 3rd place Anastasia Prokopenko. What a brilliant run that is from her to challenge for a podium position. This then the final laser shoot from Kim Sunwoo. Can she hold her nerve to potentially run off to gold? She's got 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Sunwoo Kim is off then, but Chloe Esposito is not far behind in 2nd place. Here then is the battle for 2nd and 3rd. You can see Prokopenko is away and she's in 2nd place now, so Esposito drops down to 3rd. Kovac then currently in 4th place, but this then is Kim Sunwoo. She's still out ahead. This then is the battle for 2nd and 3rd. You can see Esposito is closing in on Prokopenko, and we can see now Kim Sunwoo just making her way around the final few corners. These two though keeping up the pressure. Esposito and Prokopenko then switching between 2nd and 3rd. Is there enough time for them to put some pressure on Kim Sunwoo? I don't think there is, but it is Esposito who looks to be making that 2nd place hers. But you can see she is catching Kim Sunwoo of Korea. That then is Kovac and Gubadlina. But this is the final straight, and Esposito overtakes Kim Sunwoo dramatically on the final straight. Kim Sunwoo of Korea just running out of steam in the final part of this race. Chloe Esposito started all the way back in 7th position, but takes gold in the final part of this race dramatically. Look how much that means to her. Kim Sunwoo dropping a further place on that final start-finish straight. Back in 3rd place, Prokopenko making her way up to 2nd. What a dramatic end to the women's laser run.
I'm so happy just to be back and competing. At the end of last year wasn't so good, and also the start of this year I really was down on myself and not sure whether I am actually doing the right thing, and today just proved that I am doing the right thing, and I've been training hard, so I'm just so happy it all came together today.
So, confirmation of the women's results. Chloe Esposito storming through in the last lap to take a surprise win here in Hungary. A good day for Kate French of Great Britain in 11th, but Vola Silkina desperately disappointed to have slipped back from 2nd to 13th overall. Five disciplines in one day: swimming, fencing, riding, shooting and running. And it's time now for the men's individual finals. The world's very best here fighting for points, and indeed this year has seen a welcome return to the top level from Christopher Pat of France.
The French Federation is happy with me coming back to competitions, but we have a great team in France, and it's because of them that I'm at this level. The stronger the team, the stronger the individual.
Le plus le groupe est fort, plus les individuels sont très forts. Alors c'est un bon début de saison que j'ai fait.
It's a very good beginning of the year for me, but I need to keep getting results during the season. The World Cup Series is made for athletes to train hard for the big events.
Sont faits pour s'entraîner pour les grandes échéances.
I would like a title during the World and European Championships, and of course in the longer term to win a medal during the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Tokyo 2020, also the aim of Ben Demeter of Hungary, who told us about the home advantage.
I really like competing in home because my brother compete with me, and my relatives try to come to Kesckemét to watch me, and they can give more power in this competition. I would like to get a medal on the Olympic Games, but in Hungary the modern pentathlon is very strong, so I think 3 or 4 pentathletes get qualified to the Olympic Games. I hope I can do that, so I qualify, and after I can fly to Tokyo.
On time now for the action from the men's finals as we head to the pool to join commentator James Zanadakis.
So the fastest 36 men making their way towards the pool, and we join Heat 3 in the final 50 metres. Ben Demeter, who you heard from a moment ago, got silver in Los Angeles but unable to keep up with the pace of Joseph Chong, the fastest swimmer in Los Angeles, and setting a time of 2 minutes and 6 seconds here in Kesckemét. So the fastest swimmers making their way to the pool for Heat 5, and this really is where the pace is set. And you can see here in lane 4, James Cook of Great Britain off to a good start in the opening stages of this race and continuing that momentum into the final 100 metres. You can see a gap opening up between him and second place in lane 5, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland. In third place, it is Wung Tai Jung of Korea. Making their way then to the final part of this race, it is James Cook in a confident time, under 2 minutes, a really quick time.
Pretty much the whole race plan, it was take it out nice and easy, hit the wall hard, which was good. But I was pleased with it. Swimming isn't particularly heavily weighted in points anymore, so lot to look forward to on the fence. And then combined, it's all to play for. There's so many fast guys out there at the moment, so that'll be a hell of a race.
This then confirmation of the swimming results, and that quick swim by James Cook means he leads the pack with a score of 314 after the first event. The athletes then moving into the fencing hall for the fencing ranking round, where once again they compete against each other. 35 bouts, every victory counts towards the overall scores, and they're all up against each other, battling for vital points. Well, Joseph Chung of Great Britain was 5th overall in the swimming and has done very well in the fencing too. You can see him here in the bonus fencing round up against Ilya Palaskov from Belarus, and he does indeed win this round to take him through to the next bonus fencing round. We can see quick on the draw here and getting the touch on the arm, and up here against Ji-Hung Lee of Korea. Joseph Chung looking to continue this momentum and carry on those extra points, which are of course vital in the overall standard. Once again, quick off the mark, Joseph Chung, just 6 seconds this time to get in that hit, and you can see he looks pleased with himself, doesn't he? Building some good momentum in the bonus round. Up next then, it is Wung Tai Jun of Korea in the final battle, looking to stop this charge from Joseph Chung, but Joseph Chung is having none of it, leaping forward there to claim the bonus round victory overall. An extra 2 points for him in that final bout, and that then is the standings after 2 events. Wung Tai Jun of Korea leading the way on 545 points ahead of his fellow Korean Lee Ji-Hun as we head outside for the riding. Well, local favourite Ben Stemeter from Hungary looking for a good riding score to put him in contention, and he gets it, doesn't he? 300 points, a perfect round for him, pushing him up the scoreboard. It's then at the turn of Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland, also posting a very strong score. Just 1 time penalty for him, keeping the Irishman in contention for a podium. Up next, it is Ilya Palaskov with a less than convincing round by his standards. A couple of obstacles knocked over, a score then of 2.86 for the Belarusian. Over then to Joseph Chung of Great Britain, who's been Mr. Consistent so far. He struggled with the riding in Los Angeles, but this then a good run. 1 obstacle knocked over, but a score of 2.93, keeping him in contention with the leaders, one of which is Lee Ji-Hun of Korea, who actually didn't post the strongest of riding scores. A few mistakes from him, a few obstacles knocked over, meaning he scored just 279, not enough to keep him in the top 3. Over then to Wung Tai Jun, who was leading heading into the riding. A good run from him now would mean he would be starting in first place for the laser run. A score of 2.93, more than enough to keep him on top of the pile. This then confirmation of the standings after 3 events. Wung Tai Jun with 838 points, ahead of Joseph Chung from Great Britain by 10 seconds. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe from Ireland a further 5 seconds back. That then completes the top 3 heading into the laser run. So points then transfer into seconds as we head into the laser run, the final event of the day, and it is Wong Tai-jun of Korea who gets us underway ahead of Joseph Chung, who will of course be starting a little bit later with that time difference between the two. Wong Tai-jun now making his way towards the laser shoot. A good confident start for him, key if he wants to maintain that lead, and he seems to be off to a pretty good start, doesn't he? 3 of the targets down already. That then is Joseph Chung making his way to the targets. Wong Tai-jun then out of the shooting range and maintaining that lead. The pressure coming from Joseph Chung in second place from Great Britain. In third place it is Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland. But making his way up the order is Ji-hung Lee of Korea. Out in front though, Wong Tai-jun of Korea, as we see another bunch of athletes behind putting the pressure on. This though is Timochenko making his way up from 12th position, making his way through the pack, and Jean-Baptiste Mousseya of France also picking up positions onto the second lap. And Wong Tai-jun once again out of the shooting range, pretty confident. You can see though it is Joseph Chung of Great Britain on the right hand side of the screen. He was in second position as we went into the laser shoot. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland was in third. He's still keeping up pace, but Joseph Chung gets away, so he's in second. Bence Demeter of Hungary moves up to third place, but a real battle for second place. And Ilya Palaskov is making his way through the field, starting of course in 6th place, but putting on the pressure and maybe going to be potentially moving up, yes indeed, to second place on the start-finish straight. So a real battle for second and third. 5 athletes all pushing each other then for that final podium position. Wong Tai-jun though is in an absolute league of his own out the front. Now this is going to be interesting. Of the 5 athletes battling for the second and third position, who will get away from the shooting first? Third lap, this could be key then, and it is Ji-hung Lee of Korea who makes his way into second. It's currently Korea first and Korea second, and there's going to be pressure. I'm sure there's Ilya Palaskov from Belarus, closely followed by Bence Demeter from Hungary, the local favourite. Wong Tai-jun though is still out in front. In second place it is Ji-hung Lee of Korea, and there you can see Ilya Palaskov from Belarus, who is making his way through nicely. But Wong Tai-jun from Korea completes his final shoot, casually turns away knowing he has just got to run straight to victory. But this battle for second and third is going to keep us entertained on this final lap. Ji-hung Lee of Korea and Ilya Palaskov from Belarus currently at the shooting, with Bence Demeter making his way there too. Who of these 3 is going to get away first? A straight one to victory, and it is indeed Ilya Palaskov from Belarus, who started back in 6th place and now seems to be on track for a silver medal. As we see battles all across the field, Joseph Chung stuttering a little bit, starting in second, now back in 5th place. But this then is the battle for 3rd place, and look at that, Jean-Baptiste Mousseya starting in 16th place is all the way up into a medal position. But here you can see Wong Tai-jun of Korea just casually making his way down the start-finish straight. He will take gold, but this of course now is the battle for second and third. Wong Tai-jun takes gold for Korea, but who is going to finish second? Who is going to finish third? That is Ilya Palaskov from Belarus, and right on the finish line it is Bence Demeter of Hungary just getting in there ahead of Jean-Baptiste Mousseya of France. What a finish to that race, right on the finish line. Both the men's and women's final being decided on the start-finish straight. Pure excitement here in Kesckemét. Well done though to Wong Tai-jun from Korea, taking gold, as you can see there, ahead of Ilya Palaskov and Bence Demeter, whose brother Gergely finished in the top 20 as well. Nice to see the Hungarians doing well here at the home event in Kesckemét. So, with the men's and women's finals decided, over now to the mixed relay, where men and women from the same country join forces and in some cases try to win more medals. Hungary putting out a very strong lineup in front of their home crowd. Bence Demeter and Sorolta Kovac would certainly take some beating. As always then, the athletes starting in the pool, where they complete a combined 200 metres of the Olympic-sized swimming pool. 3 different heats, predetermined of course by the qualifying times, and in the third and final heat, it was the Hungarian athletes Kesckemét and Zsolta Kovács setting the fastest time of 1 minute and 57 seconds. The athletes then moving into the fencing hall for the ranking round, and once again it was Hungary's Kesckemét and Zsolta Kovács taking the most points heading into the bonus round. They then move on to the stage for the bonus fencing round. Hungary taking on Korea and winning the final bout. Hungary absolutely untouchable at the moment, leading the way heading into the riding. So heading outside, each athlete of course having 20 minutes to familiarise themselves with an unknown horse and hoping to have a clear run over 8 jumps within a designated time. Once again, this event can make or break an athlete's day. No one managing to get a perfect score, but an impressive performance by the Irish pair put them in contention. Great Britain keeping pace too, with Hungary consolidating their lead heading into the laser run. Points are then transferred into seconds heading into the laser run, Hungary taking a 35-second lead over Great Britain, who were a further second ahead of Ireland. Hungary controlling the race from start to finish. Zsolta Kovács and Kesckemét taking gold in front of their adoring home fans.
So a fairy tale conclusion for the host nation as Hungary take the mixed relay gold, Ireland take silver and China bronze. Not such a happy day for Great Britain, who slipped back to 8th, and France will certainly be disappointed with an 11th place. Thanks for joining us here in Hungary. We'll end on some amazing images from what's been a spectacular event. If you want to see extended coverage from Kesckemét, join us online at uipmtv.org.